The opening game of the season for these two teams, the West Coast Eagles and the Brisbane Lions, and it's a full house here at Subiaco in Perth. We're away. Daniel Kerr, the new man, to another one of the new men. Prentice kicks toward half forward. They will have to be the centre square clearance pair for the West Coast in the post-Judd Cousins era, and a good start for them. McDonald mixing around in defence. Nice bounce away by Drummond. Spears toward half forward through the hands of Copeland. Hunter hunts it down. Jones. Stengline around the body towards Lynch. Got a hand on it but couldn't mark. Adcock coming off a very good season last year. That handball not good, and here's Kerr again. And don't they love him? Hunter back to Kerr. And now Lynch is almost within range from 60. Goes to the goal square. Embley getting back and eludes him. Out of play.
He's got a better vision there, Quinton Lynch. He's a seasoned player now, but had Andrew Embley in his vision there. Just had to pop it over. He was probably in two minds whether to go for goal or saw an open Andrew Embley.
Seaby doing the ruck work. Merrick with him. Good palm down. Patfield caught. No prior opportunity.
No surprises in the Brisbane forward line. Brown and Glass, who are having a little bit of a wrestle as we speak. Just a little bit of a show of strength. Umpire threatening to play a free kick. And Hunter on Bradshaw.
Plenty of talk between the umpires. Prentice tries to break through. Caught. Dispossessed. And you could throw a T-tail over about 20 of them. The umpire will sort it out. There's that matchup. Two captains, essentially. We know that Simon Black is captaining the Brisbane Lions today, but Jonathan Brown is really their captain. And here is Black caught high. Oh, the fend-off was high. And Black, short pass to Selwood. Just the two of them playing this afternoon. To Selwood twins. Scott, the new recruit for the West Coast Eagles, wasn't able to make their 22. He is an emergency. Cox, front spot, dumps it down through the hands of Borders. Embley's kick smothered. Selwood shoots it out towards Hearn. Lappin's there, tries to tie him up. Does so, it's a little high. Umpires play ball.
Well, we know we're hot. They're very hot on that one, the umpires. If you don't make a supreme effort to knock the ball out, you'll get pinged every time. Interesting, Jacko, David Rapunda, we've seen him play at both ends. Looks like he's going to finish his career as a forward. Well, it's a variety of roles. He's one of those players now that can go back or forward. All depends on his matchup. But of recent times, has shown he can go and kick a large amount of goals in a short space of time.
Drummond found Charman, thumps it long. Bradshaw caught behind Hunter. Takes the mark, plays on to Cox. Rapunda held up. Jones, Cox, danger. Copeland tracked him. Rapunda. And now Daniel Kerr again.
Even though he's down there getting touches in the back pocket, Rapunda, he has started forward. It's just that nearly all the players are down that end of the ground.
We did believe you. Hearn rolls it towards Waters. Went a little high, but did duck into it. Patfield with a hip and shoulder on Lynch.
He did that well, Quinton Lynch. He knew he had to wear one for the side, and he got himself a free kick. Big bloke, hit down that low. Great agility, Quinton Lynch.
And he spears it inside 50, looking for Waters. Got it smothered. Had an arm slap. Quick enough to recover, and he gets the first.
Well, I sang his praise, Jason. That was his goal. I mean, Waters will get the credit in the record, but for a big bloke like that, 6'4", to put his body over the line, won himself a free kick. Great thing about that with Bo Waters, he kept his feet, got the ball slapped out of his hands, but didn't go to ground. And good start for West Coast. Quinton Lynch, great assist.
He worked hard for it, Bo Waters. He ran from half back, he followed it down. Great to see a big fellow, Quinton Lynch, get up quickly and push back from the mark.
Barely a spare seat here at Subiaco, and the opening goal for the West Coast, Bo Waters. Umpires this evening, Matthew Head, Martin Ellis and Craig Hendry. And we're underway again. Cox with the slap down. Power straight to Braun though. Lynch, it was a long way down and still gets there. Handball not quite as good. Prentice shoots it out in the Braun direction. Two lines there waiting for it. Adcock gathers to Brennan. Prentice gets it back again and heads wide. Open wing as well at the moment. Gathered by Selwood. This is Adam. Twin playing, of course, Troy. For the Lions this evening as well. Kerr. Stolen by Power, stolen back by Kerr. Now Lynch, sidestep, thinks about going long, gets the handball out. Nikoski in game number 50. Over the head of Hanson though, McDonald trying to send it towards the boundary line and not quite successful enough. In fact, he was successful. The goal was kicked, it won't count. It'll be a ball in.
If there's any doubt about Daniel Kerr's hamstring, it's eliminated in his first 5 minutes. He basically sprinted to that boundary contest where he is now. He's the only bloke that went over there to support, and he's certainly going flat out in his first 5 minutes.
Wait for the footy, fellas!
He's going to be essential. We've talked about it already, but he is already a star. Second, third and second in the Brownlow medal in the last 3 seasons. We know there's been a couple of ineligibilities, but he's still been up there in the voting. Which tells everybody that he is one of the best players in the game, regardless of who's around him. Staker's kick half smothered. Black back in familiar territory. Simon Black, he's a West Australian boy. Adcock, mid a little high. And now Begley. Missed the target on the wing. Patfill attacked it nicely but lost his feet. Rosa, dumped by Copeland. Gee, free kick to Rosa.
Players have just got to be a bit more vigilant, Jason, when they do that. They know they're in a prime position to tackle, but it's just the way they discard their player afterwards. Because they were in an attacking position there, Brisbane, and lost possession.
He didn't dispose of that legally, though.
Sometimes it's just a dumb approach to the football too, Jagger. They've just got to be smarter about it. You want to be aggressive, but you've got to be clever.
Rosa long. And has that to hands. Seaby's taken the mark, and his accuracy rate has been something special over the last couple of years. 80% last year.
Just in front position here. West Coast are stretching Brisbane here earlier. Jason, I mentioned about the wing. I think it's playing a factor. They got Big Seaby in the goal square. They got Lynch playing out at centre half forward. Cox obviously doing the ruck. Andrew Embley, who's 6'2", playing out of the goal square. So trying to stretch Brisbane here a little bit.
Kicked 20 goals, 5. He's missed 24 games last year, and he just does not miss.
Well, it's a great start for West Coast Eagles, getting the first couple on the board. You get the crowd involved in the game, puts a little bit of doubt in the minds of the Brisbane Lions. They need to kick the next one just to steady the ship, because at the moment, West Coast seem to be controlling the midfield battle in particular, and that's pushing the ball forward to the talls. As we mentioned before, Mark Seaby starting forward. We're used to seeing Quentin Lynch start out of the square, but he's playing up at centre half forward, and he does have a pretty good tank for a big fella, doesn't he, Jay?
Yeah, he certainly has. An area that he's improved on, and his flexibility, his mobility is key to West Coast.
Last time these two teams met here, the only time they met last year, was here at Subiaco. The Lions won by 27 points. It had come from behind win. Selwood to Kerr. Trickling through to Waters. Dispossessed. Good tackle. Drummond. Black. Backtracks. Haven't seen any of Jonathan Brown yet. Brennan on the move. Might gather the crumb. To his own advantage, Jared Brennan got the 3 votes. 3 Brownlow votes, Jared Brennan, in that win by the Brisbane Lions here last year.
Kerr, 7 possessions already. No one really running with him at the minute. Black is trying to create his own game as well, so pretty much paired against each other.
We saw Charman on the bike, which means Leuenberger is in the ruck and he's on his bike trying to chase Cox. Inside 50, back of the pack. Waters will be shepherded all the way home here. Oh, he made it tough. But he got it there. He's got 2.
I'll tell you what, as far as running in an open goal goes, that's just about the worst bounce you could possibly get.
That's it.
That ball's running end over end at some stage, and look, he just backed off because he knew it had to bounce up. You have never seen a ball just continue to go at ground level low and not sit up for him. In the end, he thought, well, I've waited this long. At some stage, I'm going to get tackled, so I'll just kick it off the deck. He did it well in the end. A couple of run with rolls out there. Selwood following Luke Power, and Stengline's got the job on Lappin.
Bad news for the Lions. Jed Adcock limping to the bench, on the phone to Lee Matthews. Played every game last year and the second in the best and fairest. So they'll miss him. He's with an injury problem. Leuenberger in the ruck against him, Cox. And they'll have to go at it again.
This is where Brisbane have got to be careful. The inexperience of Leuenberger and Cox on the ground. They're paired against each other. If Cox goes forward, they'll try and stretch him here. With Big CB at the goal square, could really stretch the experience of...
Play on! Knock it out! Knock it out! Well done, touch!
Scatelli got it out, but touched. McCoskey. That's a launch. 60 metres toward half forward. Rapunda down there. Selwood thumped it away from him. Kerr, another possession, number 8. Lynch, drawn, inside 50. Cox did get down there and Leuenberger dives. Hits the deck and he's down. Embley shrugs an attempted tackle and can't roll it home.
Well, it's actually, you can see it's a match play. Once you see Cox shifting down there, get the ball in. Michael Braun could have actually handballed that to a wide receiver. He had Prittis and Fletcher on his side, but he saw the big fella one-on-one, and fortunately his disposal wasn't correct because Cox was ready to go by himself.
Matthew Leuenberger with just 9 games last year, so 9 games to his name, still eligible to win the NAB Rising Star Award this year. He is the next big thing in terms of ruckman, but he's up against the man who's been All-Australian for the last 3 seasons, Dean Cox, arguably the best ruckman in the game. 19 plays 0, and still Jonathan Brown without a touch. Rosa. Selwood. Plays along the boundary line towards Fletcher.
Hands in the back again.
You heard it, hands in the back, free kick.
Well, good news for Brisbane Lions fans. Jed Adcock is back on the ground, although he does look slightly proppy at this stage.
Drummond to Brennan. They did have to come from behind at half-time to win here last year, the Brisbane Lions. Simon Black chips it in the Brown direction. Touch, so play on. Waters beat Brown, got it to Fletcher. Stengline, Nikoski, away from Hooper. Fletcher ducked into that, good tackle by Hooper. And now Rosa, another good tackle, got it away, but straight to Drummond. And the Lions on the rebound. They need something from someone. Bradshaw's down there, got an arm half slapped, no free. Jones, speaking of slaps, knocks it to Glass, who can slap himself for that. Missed the target, the new captain, and we'll get a ball in.
Well, West Coast are continuing on their way. Handball happy side. They've had a number of already handballs in this quarter. They're just trying to find that right target to move forward. Brisbane pushing numbers behind the ball now.
Daniel Kerr's earned himself a rest. Glass, Selwood, Stengline, Wobbler, and Lynch was in front. Position 8. Quentin Lynch wants Hanson in his direction. Gathers but can't quite keep it alive, and we'll get a ball in. Rowan Smith.
Well, Dwayne, as you mentioned, Curry has come off for a little bit of rest. Also, Prittis and Embley. So the second-tier midfield for West Coast are on the ground now.
Interesting matchup. Josh Drummond has got the job on Quentin Lynch. Now, Drummond is a running defender that gives you good drive, and Lynch is your key position go-to player.
Seaby quickly after the free to Lynch. Inside 50. Begley would need to get back. Cox playing at full forward at the moment. It's away from Merritt. Hanson missed the target to the wrong Selwood. Begley. Now Travis Johnston. First touch for his new team. Got it from Black. Tried to give it to Lappin. And it's out of play. Good to see Travis Johnson getting a run. Started on the bench after playing 160 games for Melbourne. Wearing Ben Fixter's old number 4 in his new club.
And that was a great example of how much pressure West Coast are putting on the Brisbane Lions every time they get the ball. We've spoken about Jonathan Brown not getting a touch, but every time the ball's gone forward, it's been a rushed kick under pressure. They're not getting much service, the Brisbane forwards, at this stage.
Plenty of talk between the 3 umpires. Mentioned the big crowd. It is loud down there. McCrath almost had it. Begley stole it from him, and here's Anthony Corrie. Spent last year on the rookie list recovering from a knee injury. Got his speed back, got it back in the 1-2 with power. He could go all the way here.
Oh, this
bounces toward 50. What a return this would be. He played the last 2 games last year, and he misses in his start back on the senior list this year.
Well, he's picked that up 10 metres inside the defensive 50 arc and run to about 15 or 20 metres inside the attacking 50-metre arc. That was an incredible run. Deserved a goal.
Trouble was he was too spent to kick it.
Yes.
Braun. And a couple of options, Fletcher and Rosa. He gave it to Fletcher, hands to Pritis, finds Seavey, he can run. Cox calls for it long into the goal square. It's high, he's got the height advantage on Merritt. Front spot, almost, not quite. Dragged down by Merritt, Wirapunda to finish it off. You betcha.
Well, great transfer of play, West Coast on the back line. The thing that I liked about it was the confidence of Mark Seavey. He knew how to play honing down on him once he took that mark, but he just had that couple of metres. He broke stride, kicked it long to that forward, and Dean Cox resting down there. This is an area where Brisbane are struggling to handle with two ruckmen on the ground. They're dominating around the ground as well as key forwards up the front, and Dean Cox nearly could have got a free kick there, but well done, David Wirapunda. Sharked it around the front. Good goal.
First goal for David Wirapunda. 12th season. What a gun he has been for the West Coast. 25 plays, 1. Might have to move Jonathan Brown into defence at some stage. He's in the middle now for this ball up, and he might get the clearance.
High contact, Jonathan Brown.
He does get the clearance.
Well, what do you do when they can't kick it to you? You go and get it yourself, Dwayne.
Trouble is he needs to kick it to himself now, Jason. Needs to be at half forward.
Good option.
Drummond, run onto it.
Be patient here.
Pushed off it. So chasing him down, Lacroix. Got bumped at the wrong time. Long kick, goal square. Bradshaw's down there. Selwa can see it out, and does.
That was good play there for Brisbane, because Darren Glass was there by himself, and instead of opting to bomb it into the top of the square because there's no Jonathan Brown, he was patient with their kick into their forward line, and now they've got a ball up 10 metres out in front of the goal.
Charman threw CB away from the contest.
Go behind, Jamie.
And there's your explanation. Was caught behind. Jamie Charman does get a little over-aggressive in rounds 1. Jamie Charman got a 2-game suspension for charging Nick Revolt in that famous Brisbane Lions versus St Kilda game in round 1 a couple of seasons ago. Left Nick Revolt worse for wear with a few tears. Glass.
Play on, not 15, play on.
He called that before it actually got there, the umpire. Made his decision early.
Oh, he's seeing it well at the moment. Stengline out wide. Graham couldn't mark. Travis Johnston. To find the target, does to Charman.
But you can see the indecision, because they're just not getting freedom of movement of the footy at the moment. Brisbane, they don't know what to do when they go forward.
Well, Glass is waiting for a long bomb forward.
Look at that.
Here he is. He was there for a while on his own.
Yeah, but what teams are doing these days, most of them, but not Brisbane at the moment, is if you don't have an option, you hang on to the ball.
Yeah.
You run it with handball, you run it or short pass, do whatever you have to do, but that was just a blind kick into space.
Hearn takes on Corrie, loads up long, goal square, almost Lynch. Wirapunda for his second.
Well, West Coast are just blowing Brisbane out of the water in this first quarter. The element of surprise, but the pace of the football going into their forward 50, something the West Coast have been criticised, not moving it on quicker, but their forward line structure and their workmanlike for each other is first class at the minute. David Wirapunda at the right place, the right time. Big targets up there. This time it was Jamie Graham, Cox, Lynch. They're causing a few headaches up there.
I'll tell you one rather worrying sign at the moment, Dwayne. You look at the total possessions in the first quarter, 85 to the West Coast Eagles, 40 to the Brisbane Lions. More than double the amount of possession already, and it's 5 goals to nothing.
Might be Ben and Chris Hu the way the West Coast Eagles are going. From the ball up, Seavey knocked it down.
Oh, what about that for a handball?
Magnificent. To Embley. Rolls it towards half forward. Graham.
Hold it, you got a hold of him.
And won't be allowed to play onto advantage, and he'll be thankful for that. Come back.
You had a hold of him as he's running, you got a fistful of jumper.
Well, they're under enormous siege here, Brisbane, and they're forced. If you're a West Coast forward, you just got to get in.
Have a look at Daniel Curry's falling onto his back and still hits a teammate with a handball. That's ridiculous. That's unbelievable.
Turned a big corner over the summer, though, Daniel Curry. He admitted over summer he had a problem with alcohol. He addressed it, got help for it.
And he needs it, because he now has to assume a lot of responsibility in terms of running the Eagles midfield.
And it was delightful to hear him admit that he had a problem, and he's sought counselling to fix it. Jamie Graham needs to fix his kicking, only a behind. But it's a 5-goal-to-0 start for the West Coast Eagles in 2008. Quarter time can't come quick enough for the Lions. Drummond. Short. McDonald.
Stay there. Play on.
Merritt. Hasn't got a lot to go to spare. Has a one-on-one. It's Prittis
Play on.
and Riscatelli. Travis Johnston gets another possession. Toward half forward, Jones cuts it off. Prittis. They can reload. Jones, Prittis, Fletcher if he wants him, goes back to Cox. Prittis again. Still got Fletcher if he wants him. Hunter, Fletcher. He was free that whole time.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, Dwayne. If you don't have a target to kick to, you maintain possession. Now, they did a chain of hand passes, and in the end, they had to kick backwards. But you keep doing that until you release someone into space, and that's what the Eagles are doing.
Nikoski, Glass, Hunter, Embley, maintaining possession, as you said, to Quentin Lynch. No, they're not trying to wipe time off the clock. This is football in its modern way. Don't turn it over like that.
The first time you force them to kick it under pressure, you get the turnover. There's good pressure then from the Brisbane Lions. But Josh Drummond is really sitting off Quentin Lynch. If Lynch pushes up the ground, he's happy to sit back and mop up.
Power called to play on, not 15. Charman about to get run down. Just got it away in time. Colin Begley, who made his debut against the West Coast Eagles a couple of years ago. The Irishman finds Simon Black. He can go all the way. There's no one in the goal square. Tries to attempt the pass to Jonathan Brown. And Glass made it look like he was trying to keep it alive, but had the intention to take it out.
Well, they just got to go man on man here. Brisbane has just got to be accountable for their direct opponent.
Scatelli having a rest. Jonathan Brown to do some ruck work against Cox. Jones again. Braun. What about swapping sides? Selwood. And now Prittis toward the wing. Lynch is down there, kept alive by McDonald. Gets through Rosa. Power misses Stiller. They get a ball in, and this is a delight for this full house at Subiaco to watch at the moment.
Let him run. Luke and Power. Look at the ball.
Heard that? Lukey Power, look at the ball. Adcock tried to steal it away from Prittis. Donald caught. Prittis gets it back again. Fletcher. Little push in the back.
And I dare say, Dwayne, that warning before, it wasn't to Luke Power to look at the ball, but it was the man that was actually holding Luke Power in Selwood that was doing the job on him.
Prittis thumps it along towards half forward. Hooper tried to cut it off, couldn't. Graham, LeCras, he kicked four when these two teams met last year. And Mark LeCras gets his first for today.
Well, well done, Jamie Graham there. I mean, Mark LeCras get the goal, but the contest where three sets of players rushed onto the ball. Jamie Graham was a big, tall timber. He had to hold his ground, which he did. One possession, fed out the handball. Jamie Graham, great goal assist. Mark LeCras, first kick, kicks a goal. Doesn't need many possessions, Jason, and he'll kick it.
Started on the bench today, Mark LeCras. 36 goals, 19 last year, including 3 bags of 4. One of those, as mentioned, against the Lions. From the ball up. Adcock ran into trouble. Johnston saw it go between his legs. Braun to Waters. Here they go again. Long towards Rapunda. If he can get a fly, he can't. Back of the pack. Selwood thought about running it through. Keeps it in. Finds Stiller. On defensive 50. And that's a terrible kick. Graham almost. Glass is beating Jonathan Brown at the moment.
You've got to feel for Lee Matthews in the Brisbane coach's box at the moment. This is a nightmare. You've just come through a pre-season and you're trying to keep your players fresh, but you try to balance up how much match hardened they are for round one. And he'd be thinking right now, what's gone wrong, because we're getting blown away.
Cox to Prittis to Cox to Hanson. With a little penalty trick behind his back.
Still more than double the disposals. 116 to West Coast, just 52 to the Brisbane Lions.
They are glorious to watch at the moment. Hanson inside 50. And the boundary line is a win for the Brisbane Lions. Rowan Smith.
One of the moves Lee Matthews is trying to make at the moment is Leuenberger gone into the ruck and Jamie Charman down forward. I like that move. He just adds a little bit more grunt, but they've got to get it down there, boys.
That's the key. It's a good move, Smithy, but they've got to get some ball down there.
Little flick back, Kerr. Sensational quick hands, Fletcher. And now Travis Johnston takes the mark.
Braun's got the job of running with Travis Johnston. He's had just the 4 possessions. That's his 4th kick there.
Brennan just inside the line.
Half a dozen to Michael Braun.
Jared Brennan, consistent last year, 21 games. Brown with the big fly, couldn't mark it. Kerr keeps it in. No, he doesn't.
And there's the problem for Jonathan Brown as well. He's come searching, looking for the ball, and as well as competing with one of the best defenders in the game in Darren Glass, he's got to fly over the top of Dean Cox. Makes life very difficult. Brisbane have got to find some way of getting a little bit of a grip in the midfield because they're getting smashed at the moment.
Jonathan Brown goalless, although the scoreline tells you that. The Brisbane Lions goalless as we approach quarter time. Black caught Kerr. It's almost as if there's 2 of them out there at the moment. Daniel Kerr. He'll take it again. This will be possession number 11.
Well, that's that free kick again. If you're going to tackle someone, Jason, just be mindful that you tackle correctly.
A little bit of a wrestle behind play between Selwood and Power. No surprise to see Selwood involved in something like that.
And Fletcher kicked it inside 50. There was a hold. It'll be a Brisbane Lions free to Daniel Merritt. There's your explanation.
He wasn't sure where he was getting that, Daniel Merritt. He dropped the head when the whistle went. He thought, what have I done now?
Adam Selwood, you saw, and his brother Troy. In fact, you'd like to see them on each other at some stage, the 2 twins, because their rivalry as kids was so intense. Their parents had to send them to separate high schools in Bendigo. Only 2 high schools in Bendigo. One went to the Catholic college, one went to the local high. So hopefully they'll be on each other today at some stage. It'll push on Copeland, he'll get the free.
He's rolled his ankle as well, I think. Just hobbling a little bit, but needs to move it quickly. They've got a couple of players running to space. Good vision.
That is good vision. If Leuenberger can make something of this, the Lions might have their first goal. Inside 50. Not bad off the boot. Starting to bend a little too much. Well, Charman thought he had it, and it bounced straight between his arms.
Wirapunda out the wing.
Selwood to Graham to Wirapunda, who can run. He's got Fletcher on, and he hits him. Open forward line now. Over the head of Seaby. Selwood tried to tap it to his own advantage. Still got it. Gets it out to Merritt. Danger averted for now. McDonald. And now the Lions have an open midfield to use. Simon Black sends it wide towards Brennan. Waited for the bounce. Plays to his own advantage. Staker with a little hole, but not too long. Braun. Travis Johnston from the boundary line. Unselfish. Jonathan Brown is at 15. It is.
Gee, those hands were good. It looked like he stopped and waited for the ball. Maybe it was because he thought it needed to come 15, but I thought Darren Glass was going to close him down. You can see him stop. He doesn't come to the ball. He just waits. But how good are the hands?
And be able to absorb other bodies. Darren Glass is no small man. That was a fantastic contested run.
77 goals, 38 from 22 games last year. It was a coming-out season for Jonathan Brown. First All-Australian jumper, his first Coleman medal, his first Brisbane Lions best and fairest. And there's his first goal of the night.
Well, it's just a luxury that you can have a power forward like that to be able to take that contested mark. We spoke about it, but well done, Travis Johnson. He stayed involved here. You see, he won the ball. He's a smart player. Kicked it out to himself, but the vision to look inside. That's what you want. Didn't blaze away. That's what they were doing early on. They need to do that a little bit more to get back in this game.
Lions get their first goal, 66 seconds from quarter time. Rowan Smith.
As you mentioned before, Dwayne, Jed Adcock was limping around on the ground before. He's come off for a second time. Speaking to the physio about his right shin, looks like he's got a kick there. He's in a little bit of agony.
From the ball up. Hooper.
Knock it out, well done. Knock it out, knock it out. Knock it out, knock it out.
Someone's going to go.
No real need for any commentary there. The umpire's doing their own job.
Nice luxury for West Coast. Kerr and Cox come off for a spell and players the quality of Quinton Lynch and Matt Prittis go on to replace them. And all of a sudden now it's Daniel Merritt on Quinton Lynch, which is what we thought, because Seaby and Cox will now go back to just a straight rotation in the ruck.
Seaby knocked to Fletcher. He got a little push in the back as he kicked, and it was enough. Lappin to Black. Around the body, Copeland. And he can kick it from there.
Back a metre, back 1 metre, back 1 metre.
You've got Jamie Graham having to look after Jonathan Brown at the moment, which is probably a match he wants. Leuenberger's pushed into space if he can see him, and he has.
Centering kick, and Leuenberger. Safe hands.
Now, you can see Mark Seaby's 20 metres away, was jogging down there, and he's not quite going to get to the mark. He's going to head back to the centre, but that's just good athleticism from a young up-and-coming ruckman. Matthew Leuenberger, he said, you know what, I'll be the aggressor here. I'll run forward into space, and it's paid off.
Well, he knows this ground. He's from Western Australia, East Perth boy. So back home, essentially, but they might have moved the goal since he last played here.
It would have been a crucial goal, just to give him a little sniff at quarter time.
So Matthew Leuenberger, who started on the bench, moving back to position. Sorry, Jason. Great naming of the wing here at Subiaco as well, Glenn.
It is. Yeah, it certainly is.
They named it during the week the Chris Mainwaring wing in his honour. And a fantastic player he was, and a great teammate of yours.
Oh, it certainly was. Sad to see it there, but his memory will live on, and his heart and soul he wore for every one of his 201 games for West Coast Eagles.
He used to put on a great show, just marshalling those wings as well. He dominated.
As the West Coast have so far in this game. 30-point lead heading into the second term. Charman in the ruck. Cox is back in there and neither get a chance to go at it. Black, Power, Corrie back into the corridor. And Black sends it long towards half forward. Lappin and Power. So the usual suspects when the Lions go well, get a few possessions and find Bradshaw in his first game since 2006, Daniel Bradshaw.
And it's his first touch, so very important. He needs to go back and size this up. They need a good early goal here, and good for his confidence.
He had a few problems with the sun there, nearly spilt it. It looked like he fumbled an easy mark, but he was looking right into the sun.
Missed all of last year with a knee injury. It's almost a centering kick, although it's across the face, and Brennan tries to claim the mark.
Nope, out of bounds.
Didn't talk anybody into it.
They look good.
Well, they got the first clearance, the Brisbane Lions, which is good, but it came courtesy of a bounce that went straight to Simon Black. I'm sure we'd like to see a few more of those, but it's a start. They've got the first clearance.
Almost went to the third umpire then. Cox finds Selwood. Adam over the top.
That was sloppy marking from the Brisbane Lions to leave Selwood in that much space all on his own.
Graham gave it to Waters. And now Hanson, speaking of Chris Mainwaring, won the inaugural Chris Mainwaring Best Team Man Award at the presentation night last year. Did Ashley Hanson?
He's a very important player, Hanson, if he can just look after his hamstrings, because his win-loss ratio is so great when he plays. He just gives them great structure up forward.
Rosa to Waters, to Hearn, to full forward. Lynch had an arm slapped. Merritt does well. Lappin staggers his way through traffic. Drummond, who is their go-to man because he normally can find a target with his kicks. That one too tough for Jonathan Brown. Glass had the option. You had Waters on the boundary line. He went for Waters. He tried for Embley. Kerr with the tackle. Hooper through traffic. Spins it around to Jonathan Brown territory. Got there. Good spoil. Brown quick to recover. Hands it off. Jared Brennan. Anything could happen here. Long towards the pocket, and
anything did.
Yeah, nothing happened. And play on the full. Jones. 38 plays 8.
Hasn't been as clean as they would like their start in the second quarter, Brisbane, but at least they've managed to get a little bit of ball going forward. That's a start.
Koski restricted just 5 games last year with shoulder problems. Still has his shoulder strapped. And there is Lee Matthews with a concerned look on his face.
Every right to be concerned as well. Not in the best of moods.
Colm Begley just pokes it towards half forward. Almost impossible to mark, and Notting can't mark it.
You can see the players in that particular part of the ground staring straight into the sun. It just makes it impossible to attack the footy.
Late afternoon start here. Subiaco.
Play on.
The ball in. Cox almost got his own palm down. Waters. Copeland's in there. Selwood also. Where Angels fear to tread, and we'll get a ball up.
And on top of that, Jason, West Coast have got a spare man in defence. David Rupunda's had to push up in the forward 50 here. So as well as the sun in their eyes, they've got a couple of extra West Coast defenders or players plugging in the holes.
We saw Black and Kerr going at it in the first quarter. Lukey Powers gone on to Simon Daniel Kerr now, trying to break the tag that he had with Selwood following him around.
Cox palm to Stengline. He was caught a little high. Tyson Stengline, almost always the forgotten midfielder in the West Coast lineup. He's very vanilla.
Mr. Reliable. Does the job every week.
And, but he doesn't have the flavour of some of the others. Jones sneaks it forward.
Not a good option. Brett Jones, he kicked to a 1-on-2.
Drummond. 38-8. Josh Drummond goes long, but to nobody. Bradshaw's got a couple of beat here. Saw the oncoming traffic. Kind of did well and kind of didn't. Gave it to Copeland. West Coast with plenty of players back. Glass, Waters, Kerr, Nikoski, Graham.
Well, they're queuing up now.
Prentice to the other side and he can run. Open forward line for him. Waits for the leads to come. Hansen. Perfect pass.
Well, that's what he does, Ashley Hansen. He leads up the corridor, leads the play with the ball all the time, gives them an avenue to go forward.
Lynch was tough for him and Lappin outmarks him. Now Patfull needs to find Notting. Tough kick. Notting with the sun in his eyes. Takes the mark.
A couple of Eagles back now, making it very difficult for Brown and Bradshaw.
McDonald sends it long. A one-on-one for Jonathan Brown. Finally! How good is he?
Well, I reckon Darren Glass was entitled to be disappointed. You had Adam Hunter, who was back loose after Bradshaw had led up. Andrew Embley was back there. Not one of them pushed back hard enough. You can see Hunter, he's only a couple of metres away. You can't leave Jonathan Brown one out when he's got front position. He's just too strong. Needed a chop out, Darren Glass. Didn't get it.
At the moment, it's the West Coast Eagles 6 goals. Jonathan Brown 2.
Well, most definitely right there, Jason. When you've got extra numbers down there, you have to, push over and support and help out, arguably, the best forward in the competition. If he's one-on-one in the goal square, he'll certainly I talked about that strength before, to be able to absorb whatever physical contact. Never took his eyes off the football.
And Darren Glass, look, just about the best defender in the competition, yes. But when you can give help, you give it.
Captain on joint captain at the moment. Darren Glass, third West Coast captain in the last 4 years. All Australian the past 2 years as well. Darren Glass. From the ball up. Cox to Selwood. Tough one for Rapunda. Begley, a little shepherd for Drummond. And Hansen just gave it up then. Somehow Drummond got around Kerr. Towards Brown and a one-hander from Glass. Jonathan Brown's hurt himself as well. Seemed to twist an ankle in that movement. Rosa. And just inside the line, Dean Cox. Hands on hips at the moment, Jay Brown. That's a worrying sign because we know his injury history. Hunter. Hearn, who can launch a long ball if he wants to. Rosa. Couple of options. And Lyons getting plenty of numbers back, although a clean bowl's a couple of them. Seavey shoots it out, but to Selwood. Handball missed the target. Lynch. He tries to thread his way through. Seavey tucked into the pocket. Drummond stole it back again. Begley to McDonald. Through the hands of Stengline and Lappin. Dishes off to Powell. Bounce for Selwood. Kerr wraps him up. Got the handball out just in time, but missed the target. Lynch, Rosa, outside 50, looking for a target. Nikoski, back inside the centre square. Lyons getting numbers back. There's almost 16 of them inside defensive 50. Big fly, ball knocked down. Stiller to Begley. And here's where the numbers play to your favour. You get the clearance, but you haven't got a lot to kick to. Hooper, he can run too. Dean Cox is motoring. Almost chased him down, put some pressure on the kick. Graham couldn't complete the mark, but gathered the crumb to Glass. Once again, Mark Nikoski, game number 50, chips toward Lynch. Begley to his own advantage, does brilliantly. Selwood, and now Brown. Black, I should say.
Got your colours mixed up.
I've got one ahead of them.
He just couldn't see that, Jonathan Brown.
Brown couldn't leap either, strangely enough. Selwood, Kerr. A little 1-2 with Rosa. And Kerr heads wide for Hanson. 38 plays 14. If anything, the Lions kicking with a slight breeze in the second term. Stengline pokes it inside 50. Lacroix from the front. Seavey over the top. Lacroix looks a little hurt. Seavey looks happy.
Well, they're doing it at the beginning of every quarter, aren't they? Stretching them. They're putting both ruckmen on the ground. Here's Jonathan Brown just outbalanced by Darren Glass. And there's Seavey just reaching high, and it's I don't care who you are as a defender, you're not going to be able to spoil a 6'7" ruckman that's leaping up and taking the ball like that.
The man who never misses. Mark Seavey directly in front, already has one. And he squeezes it home. He made the goal umpire work, but it's there.
Well, I was just going to say, well done Brisbane for 8 minutes of that quarter. That were West Coast, goalless, and they'll just learn from the mistakes of the first quarter, pushing numbers back. But you can't substitute a power forward moving like that. I mean, he's a ruckman, but he's certainly added to his game, where he's a very good tap ruckman, but goes forward and kicks goals. Just like Jonathan Brown, it can take a contested mark. West Coast have demonstrated they've got a couple of players that can do the same in Seavey, Cox and Lynch as well.
Two goals now for Mark Seavey. So his last 12 months just sneaking above an 80% goal to behinds rate. Johnston. Clearance toward Jonathan Brown. Again, he couldn't leap. Thumped it down. Nikoski got a handball out to Hunter.
Advantage.
You heard.
Yours.
Fletcher. Chips it wide. Embley's down there. Colin Begley got a hand on it, but not to his own advantage. Braun. Now Travis Johnston again. It's away from Quentin Lynch. Rides the boundary line. Little wide. Brennan. Can't complete the mark. And we'll get a ball in. Travis Johnston getting a bit of game time now. Probably should have come to the Lions in the first place. His grandfather, Travis Johnston, Norm MacDonald, played 228 games for the Lions and won a best and fairest. So there's a bit of Lion in his blood. And his opposite number 4's got this one, Daniel Kerr. Fletcher. Hearn. Sends a long drop punt towards Quentin Lynch. He's in position A. Can't take the mark. Good spoil. Well played by MacDonald. To his own advantage, but nowhere to go to now. Padful. Crowd getting a little restless because no one's coming at him. And he's allowed to give to Travis Johnson with relative ease.
A lot of movement ahead of him, Travis Johnson. That's why he's looking inboard, looking sideways, looking short.
Hugs the boundary again. And Jonathan Brown can't really make ground enough to beat Jamie Graham. We'll get a ball in.
You never like to see that from one of your players either. In the end, he kicked it off one step on his opposite foot. He hadn't gone far enough back to clear the man on the mark. He was looking at options, didn't get in there. In the end, he got rushed into a poor disposal.
Stiller. Good tackle by Braun. Graham tried to shoot it back to Braun. Stiller. Lappin, MacDonald. Now Corrie can take them on and have a run. He can go all the way again here. Can size them up from 60. No one in the goal square. Launches a long bomb. And again it's offline. Only a behind. Rowan Smith.
Just an update on Jed Adcock. Just went for his last run. Was speaking to the physio. Come back shaking his head. Physio's just taking his tape off now. I'm sure they're going to put some ice on it.
Jared Brennan has just missed the soda. The kick that came from Brent Staker after the behind had been scored. Should have been a regulation mark and shot for goal for him, and it just slipped straight through his fingers. They can't afford to waste opportunities like that, Brisbane.
Sparked by Hansen. Held it long enough to Hearn. Leuenberger got him. Got the kick away. Cox, 60 out. Oh, beautiful pass from the big man finds Auckland.
It was good vision by Dean Cox. Could have blazed away, but looked for the right option. Played by himself free there. Because Brisbane were pushing numbers right back, and you can have a tendency to just put it to the top of the square. But David Ruakunda, good goal kicking form in the first quarter, kicking two, lining up for his third.
This is the pocket that you reckon is very kickable from out here, Jacko.
Very kickable.
See if he does you justice.
For his third, low trajectory. Touched on the line and kept the distance. And now he gets it behind.
Well, I think he just poked at it, didn't he? I think he was comfortable. He approach was good, but he just didn't put enough meat in it.
Forgot to kick through it. He was worried about the angle. He got that right.
Massive crowd on the grandstand must have been breathing out. Because that was home for a while. Selwood, Drummond. And again, no one to kick to. Only one-on-ones, and Copeland takes the mark.
Mark in there, and he just parried it with the hands as he attacked the ball, running straight into the sun.
Johnston to Jonathan Brown, who dives and marks on 50. Breeze blowing across the ground, but should push this toward the goal if he gets onto it. Jonathan Brown already has two.
Won't he be welcome in Brisbane, Travis Johnston, if he starts delivering the ball like that? The diving chest mark, there's nothing a defender can do about that.
The only man keeping the Lions in it at the moment. Starts it right, it comes back with the breeze. Brilliant. He has all three of the Brisbane Lions goals.
They've just got to keep their patience here, Brisbane. They're just going about their business nicely in this quarter. They've learnt from the first quarter mistakes. They were blown out of the water, but that man, Jonathan Brown, if they could just hold possession, do what West Coast do, play keepies off and be very good at it, and then go to the right man in the goal square in their 450. He's the man. Needs a little bit more support by Bradshaw and Brennan.
Well, I'll tell you who won't be happy about that goal. That's Darren Glass. He was on the bench when that was kicked. He was having a little spell. Jamie Graham was out marking Jonathan Brown. He'll be filthy. There's the kick from David Rapana that just didn't get the distance. Gee, it must have been close. Daniel Merritt reaching up with the left arm to pull it short.
Important 7 minutes and 49 seconds coming up.
They've got themselves back in it.
Can they keep the momentum going? Jarman down to Black. Travis Johnson couldn't get the kick away before he was tackled decisively.
Knock it out, knock it out.
Rolled it toward Riscatelli though. Back to Black. Brennan. Not having a good afternoon so far, Jared Brennan. Tries to keep it going in his direction. Hooper. Dumped. Dispossessed. Staker. Fletcher.
Holding on here.
Free kick behind play.
Coming to Copeland. He needs to be careful, Brett Jones. You do not want to give away 50 from there.
Well, Copeland can launch a long ball, and he just had a sighter from Jonathan Brown. He knows to start at the little right post.
He's filthy, Brett Jones.
As you would be.
Really dug his way to China as he was scratching the mark on the ground.
You see the 150 rather than the 50 written on the grounds this year for 150th anniversary of the AFL. And Copeland has a chat to Jones. Out of bounds on the floor.
Just out of his comfort zone in terms of his range of kick.
Across the defence. Hearn to Hunter. Now Embley.
They've closed it off well, Brisbane. They've shut down the open side.
Fletcher. Nikoski. 45 plays 21. Lions have played their way back into it.
And in the first quarter, the Eagles were running pretty freely through the middle of the ground. The Brisbane Lions have slowed them down very well in this second term, and that's what's helped get them back in the game.
Waters finds Fletcher.
Back a metre.
Chip kick. Patful got a fist on it. Travis Johnston. Pokes it back to Charman. Think about coming to the open side. Troy Selwood's calling for it long. It's his ball if he wants it, and he's got it.
Play on, play on.
Took the steps to play on to McDonald. He runs onto it. Hasn't got a lot to kick to. Tries to steer the pass to Brown through the eye of the needle.
Well, that's the patience we were talking about before. Brett Jones had peeled off and plugged that hole, but just the evasive skills of big Jonathan Brown as he cuts back in here through the corridor in the ball carrier's vision. That's where you want to be all the time, and I mean Brisbane have that luxury. They're obviously conscious that of the big fella, and they use him all the time.
You can't speak highly enough of the pass from Joel McDonald. He summed up the situation very well. There was only one option on it. It had to be a perfect kick, and it was.
For goal number 4 for Jonathan Brown. And just inside 50, and he likes it off the boot. Straight through the middle. The Lions are on the way back.
Well, whatever happened at quarter time, it's certainly working at this stage. I mean, they were just very patient in this first 19 minutes of the game, but fantastic when you got that power forward up there, Jason.
Absolutely, and Jonathan Brown is just putting on a clinic at the moment. His kicking for goal has been superb, whether it be out around the 50-metre arc or on a 45-degree angle. He is just striking the ball beautifully, got great confidence.
Two blokes they've got to stop is Black and Johnson, starting to have an impact in the game.
Four goals to the Lions, 4 goals to Jonathan Brown. Kicked some big bags last year. And that Brisbane Lions record, 10 goals against Carlton in round 16, the best of them. From the ball up, Lappin dragged down. Can't break free, we'll get another ball up.
Travis Johnson, 11 possessions, all kicks.
So the Melbourne best and fairest from 2005, Travis Johnston settling in at his new club well. Lappin trying to get it out. Black does, but shoots it to Rosa. Stengline, Nikoski, caught. Just got it out in time. Jones under pressure again. Jonathan Brown slipped to Notting. Shoots it out. Hooper to his own advantage. Daniel Kerr, magnificent. Hunter at the boundary line if he wants it, finds it. We'll get a ball in.
It's interesting, we spoke at quarter time about how dominant the Eagles were. They had just about double everything of the Brisbane Lions in terms of possessions inside 50s. They're still slightly ahead in possessions in the second quarter, 77 to 67, but the Lions lead the inside 50s 10 to 7, and they're getting their share of the footy now, and all of a sudden the contest has turned around.
Charman's doing okay in the ruck against Seaby with Cox. He's playing almost a loose man in front of play. Free kick Nikoski to Fletcher. Across the ground to Hunter. Terrible handball to Prentice. Copeland cut it off. Notting to his own advantage. He's got Bradshaw. If he can keep it in. And he can't.
Hey.
Hunter told him about it.
Don't give it away, guys.
45 plays 27. Back into play. Cox back into the ruck. Lappin to Power. Had it but lost it. Slick hands from Fletcher to Kerr to Prentice, and now Cox has a little run towards half forward. Rose's hands a slip through. Braun left it behind. Gathered but gets the handball away just in time. It's not the same West Coast Eagles team we saw in the opening term.
Yeah, that's a good option from Copeland. Just to kick it off the deck, he was outnumbered. That is a win for Brisbane, finding the boundary line there. Major possession getters on the ground at the moment. Mark Nikoski and Simon Black both have 16 apiece. Daniel Kerr has just joined them in that last inch. He also has 16.
And the ball in. Cox and Charman wrap up. Rosa thumps it to Waters. Tries to steer it towards Ruapunga, and his man fell. Drummond slipped at the inopportune time, and David Ruapunga will line up for his third.
It was good work here by Beau Waters. He ducked out from the stoppage there, found himself side, but he looked inboard. That was very important. Everyone was gravitating to the pocket, but David Ruapunga was there in the corridor. Good vision by Beau Waters, and Waters gets a chance to kick that third goal that he should have kicked 5 minutes ago, Jason.
And one that they need too, the West Coast Eagles, because they're under assault at the moment, and he's pushed that out to the right. Lent way back on it.
Well clear.
Beau Waters is very good on the right foot. I mean, it's his non-preferred foot, and it doesn't look a natural kicking action, but very effective.
Natives restless at the moment here at Subiaco.
They've gone a bit quiet.
Barely a spare seat in the house for season opener.
Great kick
for the West Coast, and that was sensational. To Black, to Stiller. Second grab. Travis Johnston. Can he find Bradshaw? He can't. Bradshaw's a little short. And Glass peeled off Jonathan Brown and took them up. Jonathan Brown's back inside 50. Doesn't chase him down. Braun made the half volley look easy. Rosa. Kerr.
Brown's on his own.
Stiller needs to get up. Can't find a target. Just in time, finds Waters.
Out of jail, West Coast. Jonathan Brown was in the 50-metre arc, all on his own.
Hunter. Almost Staker got his arm knocked. Then Staker. Outside 50. Hits the hot spot. Hanson's down there, stays down. Lacroix can spin around. This is his bread and butter.
Hendo, clear.
I'm a little stale, only a behind.
You get a little quiet word from Chad Fletcher there as well. If you're going to snap it over your shoulder, you better kick him, because when there's people running past for the hand pass and you miss the goal, they're going to be a little bit upset. Starting to get into the game as well. Chad Fletcher, 14 possessions after starting on the bench. It's a big year for him, Jacko, because he's sort of a little bit of the gloss has gone off him as part of that Premier midfield.
And much criticised last year, but had that injury. Much talked about his pre-season, and knowing Chad, an All-Australian Premiership player, he's looking for a big year, so got off to a good start.
Rapunda mate Troy Selwood earn it.
You.
Merritt.
Play on.
Loads up long. Jonathan Brown's lurking, gets the fly, can't take the mark.
He's hurt his leg. Brown's gone down,
That's
holding the
bad
knee.
news.
This
Cramp, is it, or?
might be cramped the way he's pulling. Gee, it looked like he grabbed his knee to start with, but all of a sudden he's holding his toes, trying to straighten the leg.
Pack forms, but everybody's looking at Jonathan Brown here and not the ball. Brennan stole it.
No, he's in pain. It can't just be cramp.
Lappin tries to shoot a handball out. To Simon Black. Backtracks. They're a man down at the moment. Colin Begley. Stiller. Lappin. He's caught. Back to Stiller. Towards Corrie. Deft deflection. Back to Corrie. Can he get through traffic? He can. Handball misses the target. Pittis toward the boundary line.
He's up and jogging around, Jonathan Brown, which is good news.
Brendan Leach runs the wing. Kicks it to where he'd like to be, and Merritt's down there. His man dives and holds it. Just.
I don't know what it was with Jonathan Brown, but he landed awkwardly. He was holding or feeling for the outside of the right shin, just below the knee. But he's up and running around now, so hopefully just a little bit of a shock from jarring the leg, and everything's okay.
Leuenberger delightful around the outer side to Riscatelli.
Yours.
And he pops it in the Brennan direction, and as we mentioned, anything could happen here on the siren.
This is a massive kick. A massive kick. Jared Brennan is on the right side for a left footer. This can give Brisbane some terrific momentum heading into half-time.
Well, we know he can go missing. We know he can star. Mentioned he got the 3 Brownlow votes.
There's Jonathan
We have a look at Jonathan Brown.
See him going down. Well, he was holding both legs there in the end. It looked like he...
And Staker with Lacroix getting some work done on the bench, as you saw. There's the umpire letting out a bit of wind as he gets this second half underway.
A lot of energy to bounce that ball, you know.
It was umpire Matthew Head. And here's Daniel Kerr with no, not a kick.
Oh, he was about to.
Yeah, maybe that hamstring's concerning him a little. Copeland's got him wrapped up. Daniel Kerr and Lukey Power holding the ball. Dragged it in.
It didn't come out. West Coast.
Players were confused.
West Coast.
So Jones will take the free. He didn't know it was his.
A very inauspicious start to the second half, the first 30 seconds or so.
Dean Cox.
That's where they get that switch going. They've got to get this man. He's going to be a much improved player for West Coast, Martin Nichols. He's had a lot of injuries, but with that raking left foot, bit of a sweeping role he can play.
Little slip from Rosa. Black. Hooper. Stengline. Fletcher. Toward half forward. Well played by Colin Begley. Thumped it down to his own advantage. Johnston. Handed off to Corrie, who left it behind. Shrugs Waters and gets the handball Back to Begley.
Switches on for Brisbane now.
Drummond to the outer side. Nodding, well, he could have run. Sold the dummy to Wirrapunda. Still got Drummond running for him, but Tim Nodding puts it on the left. Sends it long. Leuenberger.
Yes.
Gee.
Did everything right except hang on to the ball at the end.
Had it for a long time. And Cox beat him to it. Graham, Fletcher, Braun, Lynch. Trouble, just got it away in time. Selb with the toe poke towards half forward, straight to Patfull. Couldn't find his target. Corrie forced to grab Waters. Charman got it off, but it's a little slippery out there at the moment. A few players unable to keep their feet.
Well, there's a little bit of
turnover is there.
Yeah, Travis Johnson just slipping over.
Embley can send it in long. Sends it in the Hanson direction. He can't handle it either. Seaby slips it towards Waters, one way then the other, and now across the face of goal. So it's been a very ugly start to this second half.
Well, they just haven't hit their targets. Both sides have missed handballs. Has been a pretty warm day and an early start here. Maybe they are feeling a bit of fatigue already.
Rowan Smith.
Dwayne, you just mentioned Mark Lacroix just before. They're just worried about his left groin at the moment. He just went for a little bit of a side stretch, and the physio's just working on him at the moment.
You can see Prittis and Hearn also starting on the bench for the West Coast. In the corner of the screen, Lukey Power. Hands off to Begley. The 1-2 almost. McDonald looked behind him and got told to play on. Sends it long. Bradshaw, can he get there? Does with the spoil. Knocks it away from Glass, who recovers. Hunter. Over the head of Rosa. Fletcher called him into it.
They had 4 loose players on the wing and Fletcher turned it over.
To Power. He sends it long. Bradshaw, can he get there? Yes. Can he goal it? Tries to get around. Spins it onto the foot and has nailed it. He made it tough, but it's there.
Well, costly turnover there by West Coast, and it's an area of their game where they've been criticised the last couple of years. When they're way in front, they don't put sides away. They actually invite the opposition to get back in it. With a turnover like that, I mean, Bradshaw gets back into the game here, gets himself a goal. First Brisbane player, apart from Jonathan Brown, to kick a goal for his side, but he weighted that very well. It's got themselves back in the game, Jason.
Absolutely. This is turning into a contest now.
First goal for Daniel Bradshaw. Just starting to find his feet after spending a whole season on the sidelines with that injured knee. They're edging closer.
Now up to 17 possessions, Chad Fletcher, but only 59% efficiency in terms of his disposal.
Magnificent palm down by Leuenberger. Black. Just over the head of Jonathan Brown. Glass. Brown hunting it down. Got rid of it just in time. Nodding. Little high tackle. Hunter. Spears it wide to Quentin Lynch. A long way down into defence to Graham.
This is the important kick. This is the one they've got to hit up. This one plus what he does now in the forward 50, because they've just in the second quarter in this one been turning it over around about this mark.
Waters might turn it over again here. Travis Johnston. Tackle. Dumped by Braun. No free. Braun tries to shoot it out to Prittis. Just off the bench. Back to Braun from 48. Sends it long. Sensational.
Well, obviously desperately need a goal by West Coast. Probably of errors there by both sides, but got to take the opportunities. Michael Braun, usually a very good finisher here, but lucky not to get the free kick in the first place because Travis Johnson did not get rid of that ball. Stayed involved. Nice finish.
Again, a scrappy build-up, wasn't it?
Thirteenth possession for Michael Braun. First goal for him for the evening. Of course, it was against the Brisbane Lions a couple of years ago when Michael Braun raised, according to reports, the eyebrows of Jason Ackermanis. And a couple of players on the bench, Jason.
Chad Fletcher, one of them, after that last turnover on the wing, Dwayno, straight off onto the phone. I think John Worsfold told him, I'm not happy with the way you're using the footy. Have a spell.
Selwood tried to toe poke it off the deck, goes back in. Embley tried to shoot it out. McDonald steals it to Leuenberger, left it behind. Lynch with a toe poke to his own advantage. Colin Begley, deft deflection away from him. And now Lappin. He's got Jonathan Brown calling for it. Wants to go longer. Sends it towards the goal square. Bradshaw again. Starting to find his touch.
The more you watch this game of AFL, the more you think it's about getting the ball in the hands of the players that can use it the best. We saw 4 or 5 fumbles at ground level in the middle of the ground. All of a sudden, Nigel Lappin just sweeps in, picks it up, pulls back, steadies, sums up the situation and delivers to Bradshaw right in front of goal.
Well, we know he can kick a goal. Modelled himself as a kid on Jason Dunstall. And he kicks his second.
Well, they just won't go away, Brisbane. And as you mentioned, Jason, just took the clean hands of Nigel Lappin as you see he come through there. He's a class player, but he didn't get rid of it too quick. I mean, he had a couple of options, went to the big fella. And Sharman in the goal square, but coming across the front of the pack there. He's a smart player, and he's just starting to work himself back into the game nicely for Brisbane.
Could be one of the recruits of the year.
You were his hero as a kid, Jason, as you were many a young player.
Oh, could I feel any older now?
Trying to give you a rap in this 150th year.
I didn't realise that was the case.
Brennan shoots it out to Simon Black, runs to 50, second bounce, gets away from Rosa and sends it long towards the goal line, but not through.
That's a great mark, isn't it, Jamie Graham?
Did everything right. Simon Black bar kicked the goal. Graham tries to find Prentice and Copeland. Oh, not quite. Didn't hold it long enough, according to the umpire.
And normally when you get that clean grab and then they come and spoil it, they pay the mark. Not so on that occasion. A little bit unfortunate for Robert Copeland. Great chase from Rosa before on Simon Black, just to put that pressure on the shot for goal.
Free kick in the ruck.
And he's given away a couple, Jamie Charman.
Oh, not Jamie.
He is one of those that every year is up the top or near the top of the free kick count against. Does give a few away. Seaby to Selwood to Embley. 54-40. Nervous crowd here at the moment at Subiaco. Full house. Sun starting to set on what is a beautiful day here. Handball. Not only the crowd nervous, a few of the players as well. Stingline stolen by Notting. Tries to find a target. Jonathan Brown, best of all possible targets. Jonathan Brown has 5.
Well, the side that we saw that was so clean in the first quarter is starting to now turn it up by the area where they get themselves into great position is by handballing, but sometimes it gets them into trouble. And at times in this quarter, in particular the second, just overuse, cause a couple of mistakes, a bit fatigued, not hitting their targets, and well, you got that man there, he's just kicked his 5th. They're right in this game now.
Five straight for Jonathan Brown. And some danger signs for the West Coast Eagles. They came from behind at half-time last year here at Subiaco, the Brisbane Lions, and won against the odds. From the ball up, no clearance.
We don't like the idea of one-man teams, and we wouldn't suggest it for a moment, but I'm absolutely certain that Jonathan Brown underpins the hopes of his team more so than any other player in the competition, and if they can keep him fit, well, another Coleman medal will be the simplest of tasks for him, but bigger things in terms of finals for Brisbane, I'd suggest.
Notting cuts off the Prentice handball, sends it wide. Jonathan Brown with class, some work to do, beats him but falls. Back to Notting. Just missed Lappin with the handball. Stiller rode the bump magnificently, sends it long towards full forward. Bradshaw's held.
Boy, this game has turned. Andrew Embley, you've got to make a decision. Why bump when you can tackle? I don't understand that. The guy's got clean possession of the footy. Why bump him when you can tackle him and take him to the ground? And all of a sudden they kick it forward, and you can see both arms of Brent Staker wrapped around Daniel Bradshaw.
He's kicked 2. This to reduce it to a 2-point ball game, and it was never in doubt. He's got 3.
Well, the danger here is the 2 power forwards are coming right into the play now, and the whole Brisbane team knows we've got to get it to Bradshaw or Brown, and 8 goals for their side, 8 goals between them. West Coast have got some worrying moments ahead of them.
Wasn't a particularly pure kick off the boot, but got the job done. And all of a sudden, his confidence is rising. Daniel Bradshaw, 3 in this third quarter.
You mentioned his confidence rising, Jason. Well, he has a bag of 7 to his name against the West Coast Eagles, Daniel Bradshaw. So he does like playing against the West Coast.
And the confidence of his teammates is rising as well, because whereas last year they only had 1 key forward because he was out injured, all of a sudden the opposition can't just all peel off and go to Jonathan Brown, because there are 2 very good goal-kicking options up forward to drive the ball to.
Cox, this time the handball misses the target. Power to Johnston through the hands of Corrie. Little push in the back, no free. Selwood, Johnston.
Let him run, let him run.
You heard the call from the umpire. Short pass, cut off by Jones. Body on the line. 54 to 52.
Pretty even the possessions in this third quarter, but 7-2 the inside 50s in favour of the Brisbane Lions.
Brett Jones sends it long towards Quentin Lynch. Merritt falls. Lynch keeps his feet. Runs to 70. Bangs it towards the goal square. Almost Patfull. Had enough of it to keep it to his own advantage. And out of play is a win for Joel Patfull.
He just had to be a little bit smarter there, Quentin Lynch. He did well. He won the contest. He rode his own contest there. But he had to have a Wirrapunda on his side, obviously talking to him, and he just blazed away to a small target in the forward square line.
If you've just joined us, the West Coast Eagles led by 30 points at quarter time. It's now a 2-point ball game, 54 to 52.
Jonathan Brown has just rearranged the Brisbane forward line. He's gone deep. Leuenberger next to him, and he's pushed Daniel Bradshaw out to centre half forward. Just a little bit of a role reversal.
Back into play, Lacroix manufactured a shot across the face slightly. Off hands, Merritt. Toe pokes it through for a behind. Good option. Daniel Merritt does have a very good record at fullback since being sent there by his coach Lee Matthews.
They've got to get Andrew Emble into the game, West Coast. He's only had the 8 possession, maybe swinging forward, because he is notable to kick a couple of goals in a short space of time, something West Coast might have to look at.
There's Merritt on cue. Just 38 goals kicked on him in his 21 games last year, which is a pretty good record. Travis Johnston. Speaking of good records. Toward Brown. Can't mark. Back of the pack. Nikoski left it behind. Tied up. Brisbane Lions inspired at the moment. Jonathan Brown kept them in it. Gave it to Black. Shoot. And smother. Brenner stole it. Little bit of magic. Kicked towards the goal square.
Went for the
across
banana.
the face.
Kicked it on the wrong side of the ball.
Good result though. Didn't have anyone free. Keeps it inside 50.
Just didn't realise how much time he had. The way he rode that ball, he sharked it. And you'll see here as well, spoiled here by Prittis. With the chance.
Gee, he would have found Copeland on his own in the goal square too.
Jarman ties up with Dean Cox, and Cox stumps it out of play.
But you saw that ruck contest there, Dwayne. He's a little bit gun-shy, Jamie Charman, in terms of putting a physical contest on Cox. He doesn't want to give away any more free kicks. Andrew Embley off the ground for West Coast. He's the man you said wasn't getting into the game, Jagger.
Knocked down to Travis Johnston, brought down by Prittis. Jared Brennan makes it a 3-on-2.
Can't ping him, sure.
He has. Unbelievable. Jared Brennan dropping over the top, kept the ball in, and he gets the free.
Travis Johnson got tackled. He took the ball into the contest, but coming out of it, the free kick has gone to Brisbane against Brett Jones. Here he goes. He goes. Prittis is tackled. There's the ball. It then got trapped under the legs of Prittis, and he's pinged Brett Jones for coming in and diving on top of it and keeping it in.
Massive kick this to give the Lions the lead. Starts at left. Leaves it left.
Be a little bit disappointing with his shots for goal. He had one right on the half-time siren that could have given Brisbane great momentum, and that one there which would have given them the lead, and that would have been a big psychological boost for the Lions players.
Jones called the play on. Hearn.
Yours.
Cox. He didn't get much time either. Braun. Slipped through his fingers. Time to recover. Prittis. All about the target hit by this kick. It's a long bomb. Brennan gets back. Makes him in for his poor kicking moments ago.
They've changed the whole context of this game, Brisbane, by manning up in particular getting numbers behind the ball once they turn it over. And all of a sudden, West Coast, in the first quarter where they dominated, they hit targets going forward, they're overusing the handball because all they can see are Brisbane Lions jumpers when they look further afield now.
David Wirapunda getting some work done.
They've had an extra 70 possessions, the Eagles. 50 of those are handballs.
Power. Caught a little high, Luke Power. Game 196, his 200th, a couple away. He's been a genuine star for the Brisbane Lions, Luke Power. Brennan to Lappin. Speaking of genuine stars, Lappin wide. Bradshaw tucked up against the boundary line. High bomb. Tough one to mark. Charman comes hard and got it. Jamie Charman came from the clouds.
We saw Mark Seaby do it for the Eagles a little earlier on. When you've got a big bloke like this attacking the footy, very hard to stop. Didn't take it at the first occasion, but kept his eyes on the footy. Can he go back and do what Seaby did and kick straight? I wouldn't suggest he's quite as accurate in front of goal as Mark Seaby, who's kicked a couple and has a very good goal-kicking ratio. A little bit more 50-50 Jamie Charman, but I love him as a player.
Come on, back yourself.
See the importance of this kick written across his face. Nice off the boot. Goal umpire does not move. The Brisbane Lions in front for the first time tonight.
Well, massive psychological advantage here for Brisbane because they've hit the front for the first time, and that's through just sheer hard work. But getting up to West Coast, not allowing them time and space when they're trying to play keepies off. They're actually pressuring and forcing them into making a kick or a disposal, and they're just playing into their hands now. And Brisbane have readjusted to their credit. They've certainly taken up to West Coast, and they're a chance to win this game.
Ashley Hansen has come off for a spell, and Wirapunda back on. It's interesting, with Hansen coming off for a spell, they're playing a five-man forward line, and David Wirapunda has gone into defence as a loose man, just trying to stem the flow.
Cox in the ruck against Leuenberger. Prittis sends it back inside 50. Drummond with the spoil, but down the Rosa direction. Stiller, little nudge. Selwood, big nudge, no free. Stiller steals it. Riscatelli along the boundary line. Jared Brennan will have to go here. Wirapunda, Brennan does brilliantly. Rolls it along the line, gets another 40 metres out of it. Bradshaw, he gets the kick away towards Hooper. Inside 50, can't mark. Jones misses Embley, will get a ball in.
Gee, Bradshaw's having some impact, some quarter at the minute. They've just got a variety of options.
Jonathan Brown lying down on the bench. This is not a great sign as far as Brisbane are concerned, although his teammates are doing a great job at the moment without him.
Prittis rolls a handball out to Cox. Shoots it to Selwood. Hearn drops it again. There's been a lot of that going on this evening. Rolls it towards Lacroix, but it's out of play.
It's an interesting position that he's found himself on the bench with the legs elevated.
Is he resting?
That doesn't look to be the regulation resting position, but here he is. Looks like he's going to come out. Bit of Vaseline on the eyebrows just to stop the sweat getting in the eyes.
A lot of things that Jonathan Brown does are not regulation.
True.
Rosa. Stenglein was in there. McDonald steals it. Simon Black, Lappin, Corrie. He can run here. No one shutting him down just yet. Bradshaw's long. Low trajectory kick, tough one. Rolling ball, and Bradshaw has found it nicely. Corralled by Hunter. Got the kick away. Here's Wirapunda. The mop-up job that he normally does. Can't be done this time. Yes, it can. Cool Waters. And now Embley. He's missed Embley by a mile.
And Jonathan Brown's just running back onto the ground, boys. Just having a little bit of a rest. He did change his shorts, but he's back on now.
Daniel Bradshaw was the man that came off, and he looks to be a little bit proppy as well. Has worked very hard this quarter.
Troy Selwood finds Josh Drummond. 59-55.
Brown gave him a decent lead in the end too that he ignored.
Well, he was fresh too, so he felt that he was on.
Leuenberger's in the goal square. Oh, it's a pop-up short towards Notting. Can't mark. Black mentioned that he knows where they are here. And it's across the face from the ex-West Australian boy. Out of play.
Well, West Coast players get over to Chad Fletcher because he wore one for the side there. And that is inspiring to your teammates. Put his body in the line when you needed to.
Cox in the ruck, down towards Jonathan Brown, tied up. Somehow Glass stole it from him, gives to Wirapunda. with that trademark run and deliver from defence to Lynch.
This is where they're having trouble though in the transition, because when they look up, there are Brisbane players further afield. They're getting numbers back very quickly.
Rapunda found Rosa, who was given the free. Waters.
Look at the switch here.
Selwood calling for it, and it's in his direction. He can go. Got a couple of options. Embley short. He ignored him. Back into the corridor.
All Brisbane.
Terrible turnover. Painful. Now the Lions can reload. Lappin. Travis Johnston at half forward, beaten for it easily by Jones. Used his body well, Brett Jones. Now Rapunda. Space for a bounce if he wants to. Heads long towards Braun instead. McDonald slapped the arm. That's as good as a professional free kick though. It holds it up. Bradshaw on the bench now. Coming off that knee operation, full year out, and that knee being tapped there by the phone man. Brennan gets back in defence, can't mark it, off hands. How the umpire view this?
He's just come off the bench, run straight down to the square, and again straight into the contest.
Dwayne, they were just checking Daniel Bradshaw's right knee, but he's up and standing and he's ready to come back on.
Good start throwing. Charman will try and thump this through. Cox will try and make sure it doesn't go. Cox wins, but straight down to Stiller. Jonathan Brown's on the move. Gets there, dives and marks.
Stay there, stay there. Play on, Jonathan.
Like Cleveland Cavaliers rest LeBron James. They just gave Jonathan Brown a little rest. Need him for a big last turn, perhaps. Lukey Power.
They've done this well. They've drawn the numbers.
Stiller's got Lappin. Lappin just needs to slot it. Regulation for him normally. He misses.
Disappointing finish from there, but it's just the difference between the two sides. West Coast are rushing it in their forward line. Brisbane had nothing on there. Jonathan Brown, great leadership, held the ball to the right option at the right time, and they had a shot on goal.
Well, the challenge for John Worsfold now is what can he do to stem the tide, to get a little bit of flow back into the Eagles' play, because at the moment it's very disjointed and they're not dealing well with the numbers Brisbane are getting behind the ball.
Stingler, Murapunda, Jones, Staker, Braun, Graham, Nikoski, Braun, all getting a touch. Nice spin out of trouble by Braun.
He bombs it to a 1-on-3.
Embley didn't get his arm slapped according to the umpire. Brennan, some poise. Kick not so good. Braun and Stiller. Brennan dives back in, ties it up. Ball up.
What Brisbane have been able to do now, they're frustrating West Coast. They're frustrating them to a point where they're repelling all their attacks and starting their attacks from their half back line.
The fact that Brisbane are getting numbers behind the ball, by playing a loose man in defence in Wirrapunda, you're almost encouraging them to do it more.
Justin Lepich, Adrian Fletcher and Lee Matthews as Kerr gathers, but dumped. Power stole it back again. Riscatelli, straight to Hearn though. Hands to Kerr. Again a handball. Will they both count? Surely not. Riscatelli back in. Hearn, Brennan, tried to get to his feet. Simon Plack brought down, and the umpire, Martin Ellis, will sort this out with the ball up.
They gave Daniel Kerr a little bit of leeway there, because I'm not quite sure how he got rid of the ball the second time around. The first handball went to himself, and the second time it just fell out the back.
Give me room to bounce.
Give me room to bounce.
They have shut down the Eagles runners very well, Brisbane.
Daniel Kerr again. This time it was a kick, but it was smothered by Power. Power's not going to give that out voluntarily. We'll get another ball up with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock in this third term. Top 5 disposals for the game. Simon Black, top of the pops, 22. Charman and Seavey. Braun. This loads up long, hoping. Cox is down there. He's got the reach. Just it perfectly.
That's the one time you can kick to an outnumbered contest. It was 2 West Coast Eagles against 3 Brisbane Lions, but when you've got one bloke down there that's 6'10", and he can just reach up with the arms above everyone, that's the time to bomb it in. 3 Brisbane Lions, 2 West Coast Eagles. He got rid of Merritt, albeit might have got away with a little push.
Directly out, and he just caressed it, and he caresses the West Coast Eagles back into the lead.
Well, it's been hard work for them, but much-needed goal, and the challenge is now they need to get back-to-back goals because Brisbane, with extra bottom dollar, they've got a sniff here. They'll go right to the death knock and come in at three-quarter time knowing they're a big chance. But West Coast, on their home ground, got to just keep continuing to use that ball correctly, not just bombing it up and hope to pass it, someone marks it, but get it to a key forward, key target, like Brisbane have got Bradshaw and Brown at the other end.
Well, we heard Rowan Smith talk about this as we resumed after half-time. He said, you've got the big blokes down there stretching the defence, kick it down to them. That's what they did, and they got a goal, but it's been tough work. 6 goals in the first quarter for West Coast, only 3 since. The supply has dried up.
Jarman in the ruck against Seaby, won it down, but Kerr almost stole it. Magnificent to Fletcher. Cox still down there. High kick. Patfield and Drummond 2-on-1 against Hunter. Embley tries to grab McDonald. It's kept alive. Colin Begley. Lions backing themselves in at the moment. Warpunda stole it from Power. Sends it long. And again Drummond gets back and thumps it toward the boundary. Ball in. Inside 2 minutes from three-quarter time.
Well, it's interesting this last couple of minutes West Coast have managed to muster themselves a goal and another forward line attack. But Daniel Kerr's come on in the last 5 minutes and he's had important hard ball gets, hard ball wins, and that's important for West Coast.
West Coast with a spare man. Drummond's cramped up at the moment. McDonald to Charman. Hacks it out of the area. Corrie brought down, but a push in the back. Corrie the free.
Well, Adam Hunter has gone forward for West Coast, but I don't think it's as much by design as it is the fact that he got carved up by Daniel Bradshaw with 3 goals in the third quarter.
Still up back to Corrie. Tough one. Begley looks up. Wants a definite target, rolls it in the Jonathan Brown direction. And he doesn't want to bomb it. Well, he does in the end. He didn't want to do it because the West Coast have the numbers. Prittis thumps it down to Seaby, gives to Jones, and that's why he didn't want to bomb it. They can reload. 5 of them in the picture, West Coast. Long kick, and the reason they had the numbers is because the Lions have got numbers at their half-back line, and Hunter ties it up.
That was an important ball. He needed to win it. He was outnumbered, but got his hands and knees dirty and forced a stoppage. Still just 8 possessions for Andrew Embley, 1 behind on the scoreboard. He really has struggled to have an impact tonight.
Full exertion. Charman down towards Stiller. Jared Brennan with a deft little pickup and a couple of bounces make that 3. Little shepherd from Travis Johnston.
Clever.
And he rewards Johnston with the handball. Bradshaw tucked up against the boundary. 2 West Coast Eagles to beat Daniel Bradshaw. Prittis. 35 seconds and counting. Fletcher to Seaby. They can have the last shot of the term. Seaby gets the kick away. It's over Embley's head. Forced to backtrack. Thumps it to his own advantage. Spears it around the body. Cox with the reach. Merritt ties him up, but Hunter will go. Well worked, West Coast. They lead by 7.
Well, it's just important. They had to keep their feet, and that's what they did. But that's the added advantage. Great game of 2 big blokes at either end of the ground. Cox has had a good 5 minutes. Jonathan Brown, Bradshaw at that end. We saw Seaby early in the game. Get it to him. It's as simple as that.
Clean hands by Dean Cox, and he was tackled, but good enough to get the hands free. And Adam Hunter was Johnny on the spot. Ran into an open goal. This has turned into an absolutely absorbing contest. This looks like Drummond coming off, is it? And he looks in a little bit of difficulty for the Brisbane Lions as Piscatelli comes back on to replace him.
It's been a good play for him too.
Cramped up a couple of times, and that left the Lions defence a man down.
Might just be exhaustion.
14 seconds left. Time enough for a clearance and a score. Palm down. Simon Black. Lions with the last opportunity to score. Spearing pass. Jonathan Brown. Handball a little too strong. Prittis. Seconds tick away. Big last term coming up here at Subiaco. Full house for the start of the...
I thought, you know what? Let's just move it quick and long and kick it to the tall bloke in the square, even if he's outnumbered, and then we'll try and get in there with a few numbers at the fall of the ball.
Well, Brisbane have demonstrated long kick into the goal square, less amount of possessions, and we'll just wonder how much energy sapping it is when you have 71 more possessions. Can they run out the game?
Well, let's not forget that Brisbane are one short. Jed Adcock we just saw sitting on the bench. He won't be taking any further part. No boots. Just the 3 hand passes for him early on. He was injured. I think it was an ankle injury that he went down with. So maybe if there is to be a game that goes to the wire, they might have a few more legs West Coast, because they'll be able to have a few more rotations in this final quarter.
Yeah. Jamie Graham gone to Bradshaw, so it looks like he's got the job for the entire quarter to shut him out.
Final term about to get underway here at Subiaco. 67-60. Cox back in the ruck. Black tried to shoot it out. Selwood stole it to Prittis. Hanson caught behind, getting back. Selwood for the Lions. Didn't quite find a teammate with it. Wirapunda stole it, spears it. CB can't mark. Colin Begley the crumb. Tough kick this. Corrie flies at Braun. Dumped away by Braun. Corrie's with him. Rides him. And the boundary line will win.
He did well, Michael Braun. He was out of position for that contest. That's a win for West Coast. They get to regroup.
And kept his feet. He had to launch himself, but managed to hold his feet, not go to ground. Very important win.
No Jed Adcock available for the Brisbane Lions, and Muscatelli getting some work done.
Oh, numbers here for Brisbane.
Luke Power. Handball over the top. Tough for Silver. Had to go back, collect it, but they've got the numbers. Muscatelli. Power. If he was a long kick of the ball, he could go all the way from 50 to the goal square. It's offline. One goal the difference.
2 players that need to have a big quarter, Brent Staker and Ashley Hanson. Haven't had a lot of possessions, haven't had much impact on this game. Both got important roles.
Jamie Graham turns it over to Robert Copeland, and he can tie the scores.
There are just some players that are always designated kickers for clubs because they just dispose of the ball so well, and I'd suggest he's probably not in their top 3, Jamie Graham, in that respect.
Robert Copeland. Stats say that his opponents always get more possessions than him, and he can normally kick more goals than them when he's playing forward. Can't make this one count. Out of play on the full.
Just clipped the inside of the point post. It's disappointing, an opportunity wasted there to square the match up. But again, I mean, he's kicking out of deep in the back pocket, but there are 4 Brisbane Lions players across the centre of the ground just forming a defensive wall.
Staker not paid the mark. Crowd unhappy. Nikoski ties it up. We'll get a ball up. Staker even claiming now that he held it long enough.
The last 2 kicks out of the defensive 50, they've tried to be a bit cute, West Coast, and they've turned it over. Tight game now. Must go long.
Charman and Cox. They've been at it all night. And again, they tie up.
Just
keeps giving those free kicks away. It seems as if he does get the rough end of a few 50-50s, Jamie Charman. Prittis. Back to Dean Cox, who some say $3 million for 4 years, signed a big new contract, takes up a bit of the salary cap slack left by the departure of Chris Judd and Ben Cousins.
Well, it's a hefty whack, but he's more than just a ruckman. He's a ruck rover.
Deserves every bit of it.
24 touches, the most for the Eagles.
Power slaps it away. Hearn, Simon Black with him. Hearn takes it down. Kerr gets it out to Selwood. Wirapunda. Prittis if he finds it. He does find it and can go.
Look at the quick movement now. They're just getting it and banging it long.
Hanson, strong hands.
CB one out. Got to move it quick. Got to move it quick.
Got the call. And CB slips at an inopportune time. Merritt can't mark. Muscatelli and now Charman. In fact, it's Leuenberger lurking. Wants to backtrack because he didn't have anyone to give it to. Bar Cox. Sent it to McDonald. That was dangerous, but very, very good. Selwood to Lappin.
Got some options in the centre square.
Been an amazing game to watch. Colin Begley. This Coast led by 30 points at quarter time. Begley takes on Wirapunda. Simon Black. Too far out to score. Doesn't want to bomb it.
Vision.
Beautiful.
And Charman takes the mark.
That's the difference between the class players. The top shelf, and that's what Simon Black is. That's his 25th disposal. But he's done it a couple of times tonight, Jason, where, look, he's about to get rid of it. He waits for the right one. It's in the vision. For the leading forward, and you can't, as a backman, you can't stop that.
I'm glad he started to hit targets though, Simon Blake, because he was very wasteful early in the game. They weren't coming off the boot well. In fact, 25 touches, he's at a very low 52% efficiency rate, which would be extremely low for Simon Black, but now at important, crucial stages of the game, hitting the target.
Jamie Charman taking his full measure of time. Get his breath back. Drawn, scores level. He misses. Rowan Smith.
Dwayne, you mentioned Jed Adcock not being able to be playing for the rest of the game, but also we've got Josh Drummond on the bench and Cheney still getting their calves worked on as well. So hopefully they're not running on empty, the Brisbane Lions, boys.
Jones to Wirrapunda. Very hot day and evening here in WA, but the heat shouldn't be a factor for these two teams. Brisbane Lions players used to the heat, as are the West Coast Eagles players, and it's been a relatively hot summer. Selwood pops it towards the wing, misses the target. Nodding. Lions can reload. They can take the lead here. Black inside 50. Hooper can't mark it. Wirrapunda crumbs it towards Staker. Charman dives in, almost wrapped up. Critis doesn't really want to get it out. The ball up as a win for the West Coast here.
Gee, the umpire very nearly paid a free kick to Rowan Hooper. He put the whistle to the mouth. What about it? Looking at the high contact. But in the end, they've been pretty good in this last quarter. They've really let play go on. It's been terrific by the umpires.
Cox and Charman tie up again. Charman with the palm down in the direction of power. Selwood got it out. Critis tried to find Braun with it. Nodding. Scrambly at the moment. Tough, intense game. Critis got one too high. And he will get the clearance from defensive 50. Hands it off to Chad Fletcher to do the honours. Sends it wide.
Burn in the wing. We can get it over to him. Now this boy can kick it.
Hunter long.
Jones finds Hearn, who runs. Being chased down by Corrie. Sends it long. Goal square. Hunter. Patfull with him. Great play by Patfull. Second grab was through from behind.
It's paying it.
Second grab over the line. Had to be. Good call by the goal umpire.
Sorry, Jagger, you're a bit flat after that.
Lost contact with the ball in the air.
He's hurt himself too. He's behind the goal line. He hasn't come back into play, Adam Hunter.
So it was a double win for Joel Patfull. Terrible turnover.
Needs to get back into it.
Yeah, Travis
He must be
Johnson.
in trouble here.
Chad Fletcher called to go on with it. Lacroix got what he should have taken. Pops it towards Lynch. He's got 3 to beat here. Surely won't beat them all. Lappin, Leuenberger, Merritt. Playing with confidence, the Lions. Simon Black, Begley, back to Lappin. Don't want to kick it long and turn it over. Leuenberger, maintain possession. Simon Black. He's got Bradshaw peeling off wide for him. Couple to beat, flies. Back of the pack, ball out.
Let's have a look at that one. Adam Hunter right on the line. He gets his first grab at the cherry there. Here's the second one. Oh, boy.
That is a big call. From that angle, it looks like it's still in play.
Cox in the ruck, down to Kerr, a little high.
All we can say is goal umpire was in the best position.
Daniel Kerr, 20 possessions, 4 kicks, 16 hand passes for Daniel Kerr. Cox in the ruck, to his own advantage, to Braun, to Fletcher. Oh, he took on Copeland, got away with it. Hearn.
He can launch the footy, Shannon Hearn, can't he?
And that one a little too far for Embley, although Colin Begley will have to take it out. He doesn't. Merritt does.
I'll take it.
They use him to great effect, Shannon Hearn. I'm a bit surprised he hasn't had a shot on goal. I mean, he had that long one last there, but he's a player from set plays or marks, gets himself 60 out and can launch it.
Cox front spot, got one to the ear.
Daniel Kerr's kick, grab his arm.
Daniel Kerr.
Daniel,
Okay.
okay, grab his arm, running through.
Can he kick it though? That's the issue.
Just
Came into this game with A worry over his hamstring.
Well, you're just paranoid about that hamstring and his ability to kick, aren't you? Well, he's passed it short.
I told you, he couldn't make the distance. Fletcher takes the mark in the forward pocket.
Possession number 23 coming up for Chad Fletcher, and this will be his most important of the day, just to give the West Coast Eagles a little bit of breathing space.
From the pocket, guides it. I just kissed it through. Perfection.
Well, they just caught napping there, Brisbane. Daniel Kerr popped it over to Chad Fletcher, and I mean, he's 70% today, so not too bad. That one in the third quarter where he turned it over, but that's the one you repay back to your side to the back, and kick through the ball. Very good kick for goal, Chad Fletcher. One they needed. Just gives them a bit of a steadier now.
Glorious night here at Subiaco, and the West Coast Eagles some breathing space, but a ton of time. 12 minutes and 17 left on the clock. Cox in the ruck. Leuenberger with him. Cox with the knockdown. Jared Brennan had a little piece of it. Again.
Steady up, boys. Steady, steady.
First game of the post-Judd and Cousins era. The numbers 3 and 9 won't be worn by any West Coast Eagles players this year. They've both been put in mothballs. The numbers of Ben Cousins and Chris Judd for at least one season. Daniel Kerr and Dean Cox have been standing up tonight. So too Fletcher. Can't shrug that tackle. Simon Black tried to steal it. Drummond, good win. Been on the bench.
That's a good win.
Hits Waters high.
1 on 4. He had to put his body on and win that footy there. Bo Waters, that one for the side. Great play.
Hands in the back. Hands in the back. Lynch free.
Well, if he goes back and kicks this goal, every bloke now has gone over to Bo Waters, as you can see. All the players going over congratulating, because Brisbane were away there, 4 on 1, but he just threw himself from nowhere.
I reckon he was stiff there, Joel McDonald. He's got the right forearm in the middle of the back and just held him under the ball. It didn't look like he placed the two hands in the middle of the back. He was a little bit stiff.
8 goals against Brisbane at the Gabba a couple of years ago. Quinton Lynch has not kicked a goal tonight.
Don't hold him.
But has played a solid game further afield.
From the 50, distance is never going to be the worry. Not the accuracy. The big Q delivers.
Well, a good return by Quinton Lynch, 18 possessions. He's only kicked the 1 goal, but he's added that to his game. He's just been more of a roving forward now. He's great agility, as we saw in the first quarter. Drifted away a little bit, but important goal.
Yeah, the right forearm in the back, Joel McDonald. It was the left hand that was just on the side. That was the one that's got him in trouble. And anywhere within 60 metres is in range for Quinton Lynch.
The big Q, no doubt, recording this on his IQ. And we'll go home and watch himself in action tonight.
Nothing in it.
80 plays 62. Cox against Chowan. Both ruckmen looked at each other.
They're terrified to make contact now for fear of giving away a free kick.
Rosa tied up. Stiller had him. Kerr again. Shrugs it. Can't kick it. Black stole to Lappin. Still time for the Lions. Jonathan Brown calls for it. He peels back. Jared Brennan sees him heading back towards the goal square and thumps it long in the Brown direction. Can he get back to mark it? He can't. Glass slaps it through for a behind. Inside 3 goals, the margin.
That was the one that he won. That was the one I'm talking about, Bo Waters. When the game's in the balance, they're only 12 points up. That's what good players do at crucial times. That's why he's put his side 3 kicks ahead.
17 points the margin. Lions are 3 unanswered goals from the lead. Cox. Nikoski, Kerr, Graham, Cox. Now the West Coast making sure they don't turn it over. Nice pass by Graham to Braun. Sends it long in the Selwood direction. Copeland gets there. Great mark. Knew the traffic was coming, put his body on the line, and he's dumped after play. It'll be a free kick from the line or a goal in the crowd.
Well, you heard it. All from the commentary of the umpire. It's downfield. Advantage has been paid. Good strong mark taken by Selwood. He kicks the ball and just gets taken down too late.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, really. Didn't need that.
Done.
And with one errant arm, the Brisbane Lions' chances of winning this game might have slipped away. Umpires have been thumping it into the Subiaco turf tonight. Fletcher rolls it through the legs of Riscatelli. Hansen hasn't had a massive night. Kerr has. Caught by Riscatelli. Handball towards Charman. He can't steal it. Hansen can't pick it up. Brennan does, but he's caught. Kerr steals it back again. Slips the handball to Braun. Runs past Power. Handball doesn't find the target. Stiller. You heard it, play on advantage. Patfull finds Drummond. He can run.
Yeah, got to kick a goal here.
Could go all the way. Just needs to run to 50 and steady.
Come to him.
Runs to 50, steadies, left foot, long and superb. Lions not out of it yet.
Well, you mentioned he needed to kick it, but David Wirapunda, he was the man zoning on him. Had to come and put some pressure on him, force him to kick it from 60, but he just hung back there and, well, they're not out of it. They're still hanging in there. Daniel Kerr's played some quarter. He's really in amongst it, in and under. And the side needs him.
6 possessions.
Kerry. Nothing silly, Brian. Okay, mate? Nothing silly? No, that's a fair bump, mate. You just went back.
Daniel Kerr suggesting he got lined up front on after he got rid of the ball, and they say that's a fair bump.
And it is.
Yeah, well, it looked okay.
Ball was within 5 metres. He was in the play. And it didn't catch him high. 86 plays 69. Big thump by Charman. Power left it behind. Stengline caught. Little high. Play on advantage. Fletcher to Braun. They've created the loose man. Kick towards Seaby.
Good gather.
On the bounce, did it well. Rosa back to Cox, about to get caught. Finds Seaby again. Maintaining possession. Braun, Stengline, pops it forward. Charman getting back, does mark. That was the kick the Eagles didn't want. Begley. Copeland can gather and go here. Does gather, gets away from Cox. Bradshaw or Brown, either will do. They're both there. Bradshaw got a touch on it. Jonathan Brown hasn't seen a lot of it lately. That is pure genius. How do you bounce it like that?
That is just brilliant, Jonathan Brown. He wanted to go on the right foot, but he knew his opponent was covering that side, and in the end he had to go onto the left. But he was just, it was his ability to know where the goals were and what he needed to do to get the job done. He wanted to go infield, then he thought Glass is covering that.
What a bounce.
Oh, it's a beauty. Straight over the head of Brent Stager. But the accuracy of the snap, first class, and 6 goals to Jonathan Brown has just been a fantastic individual performance on his part.
His 3 goals in the second term kept the Brisbane Lions in it. When the West Coast Eagles stretched that margin to 30 points at quarter time, it looked as if they were going to run away with the game. Jonathan Brown now has 6, and the Lions have a sniff again.
Plenty of time left.
Fletcher caught, Charman caught high. Lions will get the clearance.
One thing Brisbane have been good at demonstrating is they will stay into the contest. They'll keep going, they'll keep persisting, and that's what they're showing in this last 3 or 4 minutes where they've piled on 2 goals.
Stiller got the sloppy handball towards Lappin. And now big thump forward towards Bradshaw. Can't mark. Wirapunda. Bradshaw keeps it in. Can't shrug the tackle. Copeland tucked into the boundary line towards Leuenberg and Nikoski. Great attack. Doesn't concede it behind. To Glass. To Graham. Should have conceded it behind. Simon Black dragged through for a behind.
A few tired players out there, and the pressure, the intensity's just lifted a little bit. The decision making a little bit slower times, and fatigue setting in makes that even harder. It's been a fantastic contest, and with 7.5 minutes still to go, anyone's game.
Jones to Kerr. We're about to tick into time on in this final term. Daniel Kerr just massages the ball to Nikoski. Held up by Bradshaw.
They've got to take West Coast. They can't play Kiwis off. There's too much time left.
Prittis. Ball caught the turf. Forced to play on. Stengline. That's a win for him. Little fumble. The handball made it tough. Out of play. John Worsfold. Peter Sumich. A couple of superstars in their time. Ball back into play. Charman. Cox stole it though to Embley. Lions have a couple of players under this. McDonald with the fist towards Stiller. Left it behind. Hearn rolls it inside 50. Merritt will get there first. Can he find a handball target? He can. Patfull. He peeled back for him. Read it well. And now Begley can run. Lapham's got power if he wants him. Just needs to hit him with the pass. Power's got a ton of time. Jonathan Brown calls for it long. Hooper's shorter. Hooper back to Begley. Now Brennan tried to use his body, and Waters kept his eye on the ball.
Well, it's an important position
here. What's he doing here?
Going to come back over the mark.
Okay.
Well, well done by Bo Waters. He was outnumbered 2-1 here, but he went to the ball. He went to the contest. He could have peeled off, hedged his bet, but he did that very well. It was an important possession just outside the forward 50 for Brisbane.
Play cannot resume until he removes himself from the field.
Not in any hurry either.
No.
He's going to have a casual stroll from the ground. Selwood will come on to replace him.
And the player's pretty keen to have a breather as well. Doesn't matter how much training you've done. Round one hits you hard.
See nearly every player on the ground in the centre square.
Mark Nikoski.
Now they all spread.
Brennan comes at him, forced to hack it long. Bradshaw's under it. Big fly by Rosa. Bradshaw brought it to ground. Rosa crumbs it. Runs into a couple. Bradshaw, Charman.
Well, he dragged that ball in, Matty Rose, but importantly he was able to stand up and get to his feet. And that often makes the difference.
Been a magnificent game to watch. From the ball in, Stiller. Was that the umpire?
I don't know.
Braun.
Someone thought they were in trouble.
Well, obviously, well, it is Easter. Let's face it. Merritt. Gets the handball out. Push. So Daniel Merritt to take it.
Good numbers here, Brisbane, if they can get away.
McDonald. And now Patfull can run. Stengline kind of corrals him. Doesn't come straight at him. Tries to fence him in. Forced the kick where Apunda was there. Free kick.
Well, that wasn't a great option from Joel Patfull. He had to sum things up better. He ended up kicking to a 1 against 2. And never to the advantage of Jonathan Brown. I know he draws the ball, but you've got to look up. Jonathan Brown can't believe that he's not allowed to at least make some sort of physical contest for the ball.
Moving on.
Apunda back to Embley. Played 23 minutes in this final term now. 5 more to come. Rapunda, Jones, Hanson. Good reach. 2 goals from the lead, the Brisbane Lions. Jones spears it towards Hearn. Couldn't gather, but gives it up nicely. Long kick by Staker. Long and strong. Staker through the heart.
Well, important goal for West Coast. They needed to close that out, especially an important period where Dean Cox has gone off the field. You feel it's an opportunity for Brisbane to start winning some of the stoppages or clearances, but good vision there. Runners forward, Hearn sized it up, and Staker hasn't had the best of nights, but an important time to kick a goal. Just a 7 for him. In
the West Coast Eagles really have had a swag of possession, 100 more possessions than the Lions, but it's not so much that looks like winning them the game. It's their ability to use the ball a little bit better when they've needed to. 76% the efficiency rate of their disposals, as opposed to the Brisbane Lions, just 59%.
Best part of 40,000 people here at Subiaco watching a magnificent contest. Lions haven't given up yet. Waters back to Selwood. Heads it wide. Hanson flies. Patfull the fist. Stiller shoots it up to Begley. Caught. Braun. Great tackle. Just got a boot on it. Riscatelli.
Hey, up down the ground. It's to you, but down the ground. Here. Your kick.
Free kick to Riscatelli.
Kick down the ground.
He wants Patfull to take it.
That's high on the edge.
He just thumps it long in the Jonathan Brown direction. Glass ties him up. Third man up, Wirapunda. He so often does. Glass, Jones. And now Braun down the wing.
Good vision inside.
Kerr short. Nikoski.
Little Seavey.
Open forward line, but no one really to kick to. Pokes it towards Lynch. Hand to it. Patfull. McDonald bumped as he kicks it. It's out of play on the full. Free kick to Braun.
This the big Q, and he collected him a bit high.
And a bit late. Wasn't as late in normal motion. A little late in slow motion. Kerr. Time ticks as Kerr plays on and kicks backwards. Wirapunda. 3 goals from the lead, the Brisbane Lions. 3 goals in 3 minutes. Been done before. Wirapunda to Staker. In fact, it's Nikoski, and he chips the ball across to Jones.
Sting line. Get it to him yet.
And more seconds tick by, and Hanson's by himself. Stingline took the step. It's almost like a netball step. He took one too many. It was only a half. Cut off by Notting. Lions are away. Handball misses the target. Stingline needs to take this to the line or to Wembley. Stingline still the lines there if he wants it. Prittis. That handball not so good either. And he mops up his own mess. Long inside 50. A mark and they've got it. Brennan over the top.
Hands in the back against Daniel Kerr. Clearly hear the umpire
26.
explaining that. Doesn't know Joel McDonald's name, so he uses the number. 26, come back.
Thank you.
It was a nice leap from Jared Brennan, wasn't it?
Yeah. Stay there.
Bit nasty for Joel McDonald, calling him 26. Travis Johnston. First game for the Lions looks like being a loss. Leuenberger.
Yours.
And now Brennan. Jonathan Brown on the wing. Can't even get a fly at it. Staker was there with him. Wirapunda. Hanson. Wirapunda. Crowd getting a little more excited now. They know they've probably got it. Nikoski. Can he find Kerr? He's lurking on 50. Gets there. Bang! Notting got him and the ball. Lapping it is. And Kerr's still down.
A nice bump to the head, I think.
Sends it long. Power. Stingline still with him. Keeps it alive, but can't find the target. Prittis. A little push in the back. Embley. Stingline. Prittis. Waters. Prittis. And they have it now. Bounces down the wing. No one to go to. Just a little poke in the Rosa direction. Matthew can take it out, but he knows that time's going to beat them. Needs to keep it alive. Travis Johnston. Sting's gone out of it now. Jones. Free kick to Waters if he wants it. Gee, they got an extra kick out of it before they realised it was an advantage.
Daniel Kerr just dropping one to the head as he went up there. By accident, but always putting his body on the line. Travis Johnson has had an interesting evening for the Brisbane Lions. 20 possessions, but has missed a lot of targets. He's operating at 45% efficiency, which isn't great for him.
Well, missing targets has been the thing that people have been critical about his entire career. And the stats say that they're critical for good reason. He does miss a lot. 15 seconds from time. Nodding. Simon Black hasn't stopped trying. Muscatelli. And now the superstar, Jonathan Brown. Can he load up for number 7? Runs to 50, unselfishly turns it over on the siren. Power caught high by Glass. Hopefully nothing will come of that. And it's an opening round win for the West Coast Eagles at home at Subiaco in front of a massive crowd of 39,591. West Coast Eagles 14,892. The Brisbane Lions, the 11-10-76. Jonathan Brown, 6 goals for his evening, 5 of them to three-quarter time, just 1 in the final term. And Beau Waters with the battle scars from what was a pretty tight contest for most of the evening, even though the West Coast Eagles opened up